Hi everyone, let's go over my macro and high time frame bullish and bearish Elliott Wave scenarios on Bitcoin. Start with my macro bullish scenario where we're looking for a finished wave 1, a finished wave 2, for now continuation to the upside in a bigger wave 3. The low of wave 2 over here, however, has been made above the 0.5, while the most common target area for a wave 2 is between the 0.5 and the 786 taken from the low to the all-time high. The 382 is a rare target. Also, price over here, the low of wave 2, was made before the 0.382 fib time taken from these same pivots, which is also uncommon, as by far more commonly a corrective structure is finishing after the 0.382 fib time. So this is not great for the probabilities of this particular scenario. If you're then looking for a wave 3 towards the upside, well, most commonly in an impulsive structure to the upside, a wave 3 is the strongest, most impulsive, highest volume wave to the upside. So if that is true, and this is the beginning of a wave 3, let's have a look how the beginning of this wave 3 is comparing to the beginning over here of a lower degree wave 3 and the beginning of this wave 1. And that is what I do with a bars pattern, which is a copy of the chart. So first, the one on the left over here, which then is a comparison of the COVID dump and then the beginning of this move to the upside. And you can see that price is far below where the COVID dump was at the moment price moved to the upside over here. So over here, the purple line is sitting at 50K and we are still ranging at around 30K. Not really what you want to see. And if we compare it over here with the price section of the yellow wave 1, which is this structure over here in 2019, then you can see we started off quite nicely over here, but then we started ranging sideways instead of that bullish continuation to the upside like we had for this wave 1 over here. So we really want to see bigger moves to the upside very soon because price is taking a while. If we look at the bearish scenario, we're also looking at a finished 5-wave structure to the upside, but an unfinished 3-wave corrective structures to the downside, where currently price is then working on this wave B. Inside of the red wave B, I'm then looking for a zigzag, which is a 5, a 3, a 5-wave structure where B can already be in or another low to be made. That's what I talk about in my daily updates, of course. But for now, we are at least looking for the resistance area above price between 39K and 50K, because we have the golden pocket over here taken from the high to the low of wave A, which is in confluence with the point of control at 39K. That is very, very important resistance indeed. And then we also have the 786 in confluence with the value area high of this range, which is incredible resistance as well. And if we then look towards the downside, we have incredible support sitting between around 11K and 8K, where we have the golden pocket taken from the low to the all-time high in confluence with the value area high of this multi-year volume profile over here. Super important support around, let's say, 10 to 9K. And also, if this wave B can end somewhere around the 786 over here, then the most common target for a wave C to the downside or a wave Y, and a potential wave Y, doesn't really matter, is between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236, which is in confluence with the golden pocket as well as the value area high at around 10 to 9K. So incredible support for Bitcoin as well. If we then go to the daily and have a look at the high time frame scenarios, then the first scenario I have for you over here is a scenario where wave 2 and B is finished. So we have a wave 1 or A to the upside, 2 or B over here finished, and we're looking for either a wave C or a wave 3 to the upside, where for a wave 3 you really want to see the 1.618 hit, which is sitting at 50K, and for a wave C we're looking for at least the 1-to-1 to be hit, which is sitting at 40K. The targets taken from the low to the high of 1 or A to the low of 2 or B. Now in this scenario, the low of 2 or B is made on top of the 0.382 taken from the low to the high of wave 1 or A. And the 382 is a rare target for a wave 2, but a common target for a wave B. So if price is now moving to the upside, the probabilities are automatically a little bit higher that we are working on a wave C compared to a wave 3. Of course, it also depends on how price moves towards the upside and how impulsive it is, because in a wave 3 again, we want to see a very impulsive structure, while a wave C tends to be a bit more lazy. You see a 1-to-1 on the chart over here, the purple vertical line, which is taken from the low to the high of wave A, and then I put it on the low of wave B to compare the time it took to develop wave A with the time it takes to develop this wave C. And usually a wave C is a bit more lazy and ends around the 1-to-1 or after the 1-to-1, which is sitting on the 6th of November later this year, with the target area of wave C between the 1 and the 1.236, 40k to 44k. So in this scenario, we expect this to be then another wave 1, looking for the low of another wave 2, and then continuation to the upside in a wave 3 for either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C, or we're looking for a 1, 2, 3 where you at least want 50k to be hit. Now in the more supposed bearish scenario, which eventually is bullish as well, we are looking for a drop below the lows over here at 24k. We then have a wave A or a wave 1, looking for a wave 2 or B, and then a 3 or C to the upside. In this scenario, we want price to then retrace to at least the 0.5, which is sitting at 23.2k. And this now is also a common target area for a wave 2 as well as for a wave B. So that is similar. So in this scenario, we're then looking for a 3-wave structure to the downside in a flat scenario, which is a 3, 3, looking for a 5-wave move to the downside, where then the 0.5 to the golden pocket is important. Again, 23.2k to 20.8k. Important support area for Bitcoin for then a bounce towards the upside, where we are then looking for a wave C or a 3 towards the upside. If you then finally look at the probabilities of the different scenarios, then currently on the macro, I am neutral, even though, gotta be honest, the bearish one does look a little bit better based on what I've mentioned, but the main reason I am neutral is because in both of the scenarios, we are expecting upside at least, and we can observe the reaction around 40 to 50k. Because in the bullish scenario, we obviously want to see new all-time highs and more upside, and in the bearish scenario, we are also still looking for price to move to the upside towards that 39 to 50k area. And how price is then reacting in this area over here and the structures we get, that will give me the probabilities to decide, okay, we're going down again, or will we find continuation? And if we then look at the probabilities of the two high time frame scenarios, I'm actually neutral between having continuation to the upside over here and then a wave 3 or a wave C, or having a new low below 24k before then continuation to the upside. And the main reason for that is that on the lower time frames and in my daily updates, we are looking for either an ABC to the downside, which is a 5-3-5 wave move for then continuation. But because that wave C is a 5-wave move, it can also be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move for the more bearish scenario, where we are then looking for lower prices. So it really depends on how price moves to the downside. Does it have the characteristics of a wave C or a wave 3? Meaning that a wave C is a bit more lazy, lower volume, takes more time, but a wave 3 is very, very impulsive, high volume move to the downside, where then we could be expecting the low to be taken. So will this be an ABC, or is it then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for lower prices? That is something we have yet to see. And of course, something I will update you about in my daily Bitcoin update video. So I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the most recent educational video I've made about the best trading indicator you can use in my opinion, which is the CVD. And for now, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'd like to see you at the next one. Bye bye.